I'm Andrew Hutchison. I am a computer scientist and specialize in areas of telecommunications, networking and security. At the summit, I'm going to be talking about using ICT for innovation. I think the challenge that organizations have is that there are lots of interesting ideas and technologies out there, but how do they actually harness those and bring them to bear in their organization so that they can achieve more efficiency or closer relationship with customers and so on in the way that they do business. In terms of the general perceptions around this topic, I think organizations confront innovation at two different levels. The one is to try and bring about innovation within technology, but the other is to actually innovate how they do business fundamentally. And so what I'll be talking about is transformational innovation as opposed to just incremental innovation. And what we're trying to really achieve is to lead organizations to take the technologies that are emerging and to try and see how they can really transform the ways that they do business. So in terms of relevance for South Africa, we have an interesting dynamic in South Africa where in some instances we've actually leapfrogged other technologies which have been in place in other more developed countries. And in other cases, we have challenges such as rural areas where people are living in areas where there isn't a lot of infrastructure. And so we have to really try and reconcile these different forces when looking at how to enable organizations using ICT. So in the example of the mobile communication, in South Africa we've gone straight to digital communications using 3G and we will go to 4G standards. And that frees us in ways that other countries which have legacy infrastructures using things like cable connectivity or analog connectivity are not able to do. So in some instances, I think South Africa is very well positioned to be able to embrace emerging technologies. And also I think there's a real receptiveness to change, which is very positive for businesses and having consumers who are open to new ways of engaging with organizations and of transacting with them. In terms of the challenges that organizations face, I think the dilemma is that there are lots of emerging technologies and options for them out there. And so the question is, which technology do we back? Which horse do we pick? And at what point do we make that decision? So some organizations like to be early adopters and at the real bleeding edge of new technologies. But just to give an example, something like mobile payment systems or electronic wallets. Google is a company that has now come up with a wallet. And I suppose the challenge for organizations is this the technology now that we pick, that we start enabling our point of sale devices to support, or do we wait for some other technology? And we've seen so many examples in the technology landscape of new solutions that have come out, and this has been billed as the next big thing, but in the end it hasn't really delivered on that promise. So this is the challenge that organizations face, to really survey the scene, look at what they've got, and decide what to do. The organization that I'm with, T-Systems, is an outsource provider to Sasol and provides system integration services for Sasol as well. Well, obviously Sasol is a very important and significant customer for our organization, and we would like to see how we can work on an innovation and business development front with Sasol in the future.